He repeatedly declared in mortgage and election filings that both of his homes, one in California, the other in Maryland, were his principal residence. Oh, he used a furnished Burbank rental apartment address for these voter registrations. He lived in Maryland. What? That was his principal residence. Pencil Neck is just a liar, isn't he? Adam Schiff, aka Pencil Neck, that guy who got censured for being a lying hack, is now in trouble with his mortgage and election papers. Just the News reporting that there are some fraud concerns over what this guy is doing because he's reporting that he lives in his primary residence in two different locations and signing documents where that can't be true. Here's the report. They say, in the 2 decades before Shifty became a Senate nominee, he repeatedly declared in mortgage and election filings that both of his homes, one in California, the other in Maryland, were his principal residence. Oh, the claims have now prompted an ethics complaint and could be prosecutable as fraud. Americans are allowed to claim just one home as their primary residence, the one they live in the majority of the year, but Schiff declared both of his properties as the principal on multiple mortgage and election forms. He should be prosecuted and arrested immediately by Fani Willis. Those declarations over the years won him financial and political benefits like lower mortgage interest rates, tax advantages, and the ability to run for an election in California. Now, he's in the middle of a Senate race, and he's in California, so the presumption is he's going to win. But this might be dispositive. That would be good. Principal residences in 2 states. Now, in at least 3 instances, documents show that in 2009 and again in 2011 and 13, Schiff refinanced his Maryland home and declared it was his principal residence. At the same time, he had declared his principal residence was in California. The pattern was first detected by Sacramento-based real estate investigator. Wow, what's up? Christine Bish in the house, who is also running for Congress as a Republican this year. Shout out. She filed an ethics complaint against Shifty in Congress. The conflicting declarations were not resolved until 2020, when he suddenly changed the notations in the Maryland mortgage to be a secondary residence. Very convenient. Bish alleges this change constitutes an admission by Schiff that he committed a pattern and practice of mortgage fraud. Law enforcement experts said the documents could form the basis for prosecution. They should. Where's Fani Willis? Send her to California. These are serious documented allegations which carry significant criminal penalties if substantiated, says retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Jeff Danick. He reviewed the documents. The FBI veteran noted that the Justice Department maintains a robust fraud enforcement section that usually and routinely investigate these things. Hopefully they jump on this one. Schiff's insistent claims of a Trump-Russia conspiracy was rebuked by John Durham, who said there was no evidence to support any of that. His credibility's crap, and the dude's just the worst. With the assistance of Bish and conservative talk show host John Steubens, Just the News gathered the certified California voter records and sworn affidavits from Schiff's mortgage company, dating to when Schiff was first elected back in 2000. At the time, Schiff and his wife Eva owned a home in Burbank, California that they purchased several years before that. In May 2003, they sold that home, purchased a home in Maryland, a wealthy suburb of DC. According to mortgage documents, the Schiffs affirmed in writing that the Potomac home would be their principal residence. Yet the following month, Schiff registered to vote as an eligible Californian, according to his voter registration. He used a furnished Burbank rental apartment address for these voter registrations. He lived in Maryland. What? That was his principal residence. In February, the Schiff refinanced their Maryland home and reaffirmed in writing that Maryland was their principal residence. That same year, the Schiffs purchased a new Burbank condo and claimed it was their residence, according to voter registration. Both of those statements from the Schiffs can't be accurate. Is there mortgage fraud in play or voter fraud? Why is he voting in California if he's a resident of another state? 1 month after the Schiffs bought the Burbank condo home, the U.S. Ethics Committee investigated multiple other representatives for taking the homestead exemption in Maryland while claiming residence in their home district, including Rep. Doris Matsui, who the committee noted faced allegations that she received the Maryland homestead tax credit and as a result violated Maryland law. They're fraudsters. At the time of the Matsui investigation, Schiff's office was asked about his similar situation, and the staff confirmed that Maryland was incorrectly listed, but it was just a clerical error. Okay, did you take the exemption or not? Bish alleges that that was a cover-up and demonstrates the appearance of possible mortgage fraud, so she filed an ethics complaint. When Schiff was recently asked by television station KCRA about the discrepancy, he replied, "Our principal residence, our primary residence, has always been in California and will always be." Liar. The Schiffs refinanced the Burbank condo in 2011 and swore in writing it would be their principal residence for at least a year. Then they refinanced their Maryland home 2 times and said that was the principal residence as well. While fudging mortgage and voter registration documents may seem like a minor clerical error, at least 2 other Democratic representatives from California did the same thing. Oops. Several public officials have been charged charged and convicted for similar issues. Earlier this year, Marilyn Mosby in Baltimore, she pled guilty to mortgage fraud. She's a Democrat, now a convicted felon. She served no jail time. She was put on probation for perjury and false claims. Santos also charged with numerous crimes. They relied upon repeated dishonesty, used political contributions to line his pockets. So why not Schiff? They're prosecuting everybody else. Go get Shifty. Steve Watkins, state rep in Oklahoma, also charged. And they said that Kennedy needed to be booted from the ballot for using a sham residential address in Westchester County. That was in New York. So yeah, maybe they should boot Schiff from the ballot. CNN reported that also Brooks improperly took advantage of his tax breaks, and so Pencil Neck is just a liar, isn't he? Not his principal residence, so he should be booted from the ballot immediately, and he should be indicted for mortgage fraud and voter fraud. Hopefully the DOJ springs into action.